Well, welcome everybody. We are super pumped up and excited to share all the crazy cool stuff we've been working on in 23, hunker down in 23 so we can release magic in 24. This is the early part of the webinar where we call this the useless banter section, where you roll your eyes and say, like, when is this shit going to get started? But we are just trying to let people roll in here and get into the room. We'd love to see everybody use the chat function to say hello. Tell us where you are logging in from, and maybe tell us the weather there and tell us why it's awesome during the holidays. Well, Chicago, Richmond, Virginia, Florida, that's a big state. Can you drill down? Colorado, Central New Jersey, North Carolina, Connecticut.
There we go.
Look at this. It's streaming in, guys, all over the place. Love it. Every nook and cranny. Did I miss? It's going so fast. I might have missed Hawaii. I haven't been to Hawaii in so long. Who in the audience is from Hawaii? I haven't been to Hawaii in like a decade.
I'm sure there's going to be a few.
Gotta be, right?
I thought Barry told me we were having our next RAIYA voice meeting in Hawaii.
Toronto, -4 Celsius. Holy cow.
Nope.
My God.
Nope.
Did I tell you guys when I gave that talk up at up at the Success Summit up in where is that? Niagara Falls, Canada? Yeah. And it was like, it was right around 32, 33 degrees Fahrenheit. And people were literally getting in the boat to go into the falls.
Bunch of crazy.
Who does that? Who does that?
Not me. Not me.
Those, I'll tell you though, I was a tourist, man. I went right down to those Niagara Falls. I went right down with all the tourists. It was amazing. Those falls are amazing. I like it on the Canadian side. It's nicer to see it from the Canadian side than the American side.
That's awesome. Gee, I came across a video, which I could probably say maybe the coldest I've ever been. And it was I want to say it was January of 19, I think. And we were at Times Square at Inman, and we had just built the integration, Ylopo Firepoint, and Kiwi wanted to do a live video at Times Square, and it was polar vortex, like -30 degrees. And he's like, can you guys take off your coats for the video? So we're just like, it was a one and done.
G and I had a meeting across town during the day. And he was like, look, let's Uber there. I'm like, no, it's New York, man. You got to walk. It's not that far. So I made him walk it. And he was looking to me like, just for weeks after that, like, you're an asshole. You're a maniac. Like, what?
I just want to know.
They made everybody walk to the Knicks game, Madison Square Garden as well. But Mike Bernier from Minnesota in the polar vortex was literally outside in a t-shirt. He was like, yeah, you guys are all just wimps.
That's nuts. Nope. G and I looked at each other. We're like, we're doing this in one take. We're gonna do it one and done. We
nailed it. We nailed it.
We crushed it.
The best part of the walk back from Madison Square Garden. Anyone remember that?
No.
Pizza. It was the pizza.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We had the pizza. That's right.
So the best cold. The memory is not working. It was so cold.
All right. Sounds good. So, G, what are we here to talk about today?
What are we here to talk about? We are here to talk about Ylopo 2.0.
Ylopo 2.0. So why are you calling it Ylopo 2.0 if it's just like, if we're always releasing new features? Why is it like a whole 2.0?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I think we wanted to get everyone here together because we have released so much stuff that are new products at Ylopo, which we obviously want to share with you guys as well. But our team has been working hard on really a complete rewrite of our entire platform. And so every part of our suite that I can think of is getting a facelift, is getting re-engineered. And we really see this as a rebirth of another version of Ylopo. We have been in the market for a long time now. And, a great thing about that is we get to build a lot. Bad thing about that is we got to go back and rebuild the things that, we built the first time, right? And that's really what our team has focused on over the last year. And also listening to the marketplace, right? About like, well, Ylopo is a great product, but here are the things that we don't like about it, right? And, having done a lot of diligence on all of that, we have, hopefully responded to, a lot of the problems of our platform, being frank, right? I think another objective here, as you guys are going to see, is that You know, we know these are lean times, obviously, and we've experienced that ourselves. And, you know, we want to try to save you guys dollars as much as we can, right? Like, and so what are the things that we can build in that you guys are spending dollars piecemeal in other places that we can roll up together to give you guys a better offering, so it saves you money in a lot of different nooks and crannies too, right? So those were all the philosophies going into what we built this year, and we're excited to share with you all.
Yeah, and I love
So,
that.
so in
Sorry. Go ahead.
23, you know, most of our clients got really roughed up in 23, like the whole industry, right? And you know, when our clients succeed, we at Ylopo succeed. When our clients get roughed up, we get roughed up. But as I looked around at the competition, everybody that, you know, that we're competing with, the word I'm getting from their clients is that those guys are not innovating. They're all hunkered down and they're not spending, they're not innovating. And we're just basically decide to zig when everyone else is zagging. And we're like, no, we're going to actually go and really spend on R&D in a big way in the worst of times, in the down market, because what goes down goes up. Like, for sure, what goes up goes down, what goes down goes up. And I think 24 is going to be way better than 23. Super optimistic. I think we're going to see some rate cuts, and then I think 25 is going to really be bonkers. One of our great clients said his motto right now is survive till 25. I thought I got a big kick.
I almost spilled my coffee out.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. But we think that we can do more than that. We think that we can do great things in 24, which is what we're here to talk about. Today, we're really talking about Ylopo 2.0. So that's kind of one of the three legs of the triad that we have going forward in 24. So Ylopo 2.0, which is all about, you know, improving what you have, right? For the most part, not raising any prices, improving what you have, you know, better speed, better search, huge emphasis on sellers and listings. I mean, you guys got to dig in here. Like, wait till you see, like, and gee, we got to like really move through it because there's so much to release there. It's incredible. Then the second triad, which is probably one of the biggest things we've ever done, is RAIYA, Real Estate AI is your assistant. We've had RAIYA Texting. That's been transformative for our clients for the last 5 years. And now we're adding RAIYA Voice. So RAIYA Text plus RAIYA Voice equals RAIYA squared, an exponential lift, where we basically are, you know, for those clients that want it, if those clients that really need help when the lead follow-up department, which is most clients, we're going to do all the follow-up for you. So instead of you just drowning in leads that are not being properly followed up on, we're literally going to follow up tenaciously on all the leads through text and voice. The voice is AI voice that you would have no idea is not AI. It's crazy. It literally, like, we're going to be getting down to, like, you know, subtle accents for different regions of the country. I mean, you know, no latency. It's just absolutely amazing. And all of it is to not replace the agents. All of it is to get you guys appointments, not leads. For those of you who are like, I'm drowning in leads, don't have great follow-up, I'm hiring all these ISAs and it's not working, offshore, onshore, all this kind of stuff, we're going to do it for you. And we're going to get you transfers and we're going to get you booked appointments. That's where we're going with RAIYA. And it's lights out. And we are going to be way ahead of everyone in terms of, there's going to be a lot of generic AI, like, don't be confused by it. This is going to be super hyper-focused, specific AI based upon what all the consumers are doing on your sites, okay, all that intelligence, and it's going to be the best voice out there. It's literally going to be insane. And the idea is to 10x your appointments and 1/10 your lead follow-up costs. Like, that's the idea. It's amazing. So we're literally going to change the industry with that. And then Maverick for the, I would say, more the medium to larger teams who really want to get more organized with how their whole team is doing and all their lead sources and try to accelerate their revenue on their teams. Maverick is a super sophisticated tool that we are just in the first innings of developing. We've got about 40 teams that are on it. We're going to keep adding teams every month. And that's something that we're, again, not really here to talk about too much today, but something we're really excited about. So that's the big vision, doubling down on development, doubling down when times are rough, being super optimistic about what's going to happen here in the future, and giving our clients the best in class tools so you guys can crush your competition and be more successful. That's it, man.
Awesome.
Roll.
Well, I you know, this was an hour and a half, I think an hour and 45-minute webinar to our clients, like everyone on this call. I'm sure we're going to have some clients on this call, but are people who are, have investigated Ylopo before, hopefully heard of Ylopo before, but, are not current clients, right? And so, what I will say is, we're going to get into the weeds here about what is different about Ylopo 2.0, right? But if you don't understand Ylopo 1.0, you got to go back and understand Ylopo 1.0, right? And so, for everyone on this call that is a prospect, we've got your information, and our team will call you and schedule a follow-up webinar to show you our entire suite. So we are going to be jumping around here a lot, but I just want you guys to know we're going over new stuff today, but this is, tip of the iceberg, right? And so highly encourage you to, if you're interested, get a full demo of the Ylopo platform so you get all the new stuff and what you already get, right?
Don't like I would say, don't leave this call until you hear the voice AI, because you're going to lose your mind.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so Ylopo 2.0, it really is a composite of like 30 plus improvements that we are making across the Ylopo platform, right? And so it is a huge rewrite. But I'm going to go over the highlights with you, and obviously Barry and Gabe, please interject, with all of your insights and value. So I'm just going to get so this is, probably the 12 to 15 things we're most excited about, but obviously there's a lot of under the hood stuff as well. The first thing that we worked a lot on this year is site refresh, IDX site refresh, right? This is obviously really important in terms of getting the listings in real time as possible. And, to be frank, because we've been really focused on the marketing and the nurture components, we didn't really think there was a big difference between, whether it loads and a listing shows up on your website in 2 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Those are not the parameters by which marketing works, right? But we've heard from our clients loud and clear that this does matter, and it matters in terms of if clients will use your website versus not. And so we have done a ton of infrastructure to improve this by over 80%. Our average feed at this point is right around 15 minutes in terms of site refresh speed. And, we are getting this down even lower, right? So this is a screenshot of like a live log from our system for example, major MLSs that were already loading, right? This is an example from a Trestle platform on the technical side, which covers about 40 MLS feeds. And what I want to call out is the average duration of refresh speeds, right? We're talking 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Like, we're hitting these feeds as soon as possible when we're loading it, right? Our goal is for every conceivable MLS that we have, starting from the largest, right, on down, every single day we are pushing new feed refreshes live. We want to get it to like that 5 minute mark if we can, right? That's our optimistic goal. And so we've done a lot of work in that regard. Really proud of our team for that. The second thing is on the listing alert side, we take a very, kind of guarded approach in terms of protecting your email reputation, right? We want to make sure when we send out an email listing alert, it actually reaches the consumer. And so if someone doesn't engage with a listing alert, we eventually sunset that lead, right? Meaning we stop sending out emails. Well, we've been testing thoroughly in terms of like what we can do to still send emails, but keep you within the scope of, kind of protecting your email reputation, right? And one of the things we've done is we've extended sunsetting to 18 months, right? That means even if a consumer doesn't open or click on an email, we're still emailing them for 18 months, right? And that's just on the theory that we've seen the data, like some consumers, they're not ready, right? So they don't engage right away, but that doesn't mean they're not going to engage later on. And so, we can't do it forever because that hurts your email reputation, but we found the sweet spot to be, 1.5 years, which is a long time, right? And obviously if they engage in the listing alert, they open it, they click it, we'll nurture them forever, right? But the lowest bar we have is 18 months.
Well, and what I love about all of these updates is you've taken feedback from the community, and the feedback is we need everything that you can do to keep the consumer using our website and not one of the portals, right? Not Zillow, not Redfin, not Realtor.com. And so far, just the first two listings are showing up at lightning pace. Emails are going out for a longer and extended period, which, let's be candid, like that's a risk that Ylopo is taking on by keeping listings in people's inbox. And so, and the other changes, these are things that maybe for some, without the bigger delta of this is what the consumer wants. And Ylopo is an expert at leading the way and keeping humans on my individual website, and that's why I've been able to double down on it. So that's why these updates are so freaking great.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback on that one because I was a big driver of going in and finding these and turning them back on, or when people were coming over from large databases and tracking the amount of people we were getting engaged by just inviting them again, by switching them over to dynamic alerts, because a lot of these were searches that agents were setting up. They weren't dynamic. And another update we did almost a year ago was allowing agents to do that. So what's great is seeing Ylopo make these changes, which is allowing more automation and the dynamic ads, the dynamic listing alerts go out to get that business up. So this is really huge, even though it all happens behind the scenes.
100%. The other thing, these are, I think, big engineering lifts, but, you know, kind of also table stakes technology, right? But they are things that really matter. Another big thing we worked on is site speed, right? Like, you know, we got feedback from clients that, yes, my site looked beautiful, but it's loading in 3 to 4 seconds, right? On mobile, that just doesn't work. You know, it's hurting our SEO. It's doing all that kind of stuff, right? We made a complete rewrite to our branded site that we call Branded Site Lightning. Our new clients are already going live on this. And we have basically brought our Google score, right, which is the score metric Google looks at to look at your site speed and performance, to 99%, right? So this is a, you know, non-cached website load, to give you an example. That was it. Website loaded, right? Less than a second. You know, that's what 99% looks like, right? So that is another huge release of ours.
Well,
The next, go ahead.
What's cool about that one is, you know, for people that aren't, these are people that in this webinar more than likely are not on Ylopo. A lot of them aren't. And so one of the things you got to understand about Ylopo is they actually have built our website on Squarespace. So like normally when you get a website from a third party, like, you know, a digital marketing firm, you have like a really lame back end. You can change like a couple of colors, maybe upload a logo, and it's not really customizable. But what Ylopo did is they've partnered with Squarespace, which, if you don't know what that is, it's one of the largest custom website providers available. And so it allows me to have the complete flexibility to create whatever I want on my website, and I don't have to sacrifice speed anymore. So that's a huge deal.
100%.
Yeah, I want to hit a couple of questions real quick. Joe asked about hiring somebody. We also had VAs doing this. We were actually doing it weekly between all of our teams. We're now able to reallocate their time into responding to priority alerts and things like that versus turning on sunsetted listing alerts. And then somebody asked if this update will replace Follow-Up Boss. No, this is an enhancement to what we're already doing, but it still runs through your CRM. But I don't think we highlighted here other updates inside of FUB that make it easier to access this stuff.
100%. Yeah. We're hand in glove within the Follow Boss ecosystem. Yeah, this is all obviously layered on top of Follow Boss. So the next big thing for us, and this is a really big deal for Ylopo, is we have completely rebuilt our seller nurture platform, right? So this is a native Ylopo platform. We built it all 100% ourselves. We looked around at the best seller experiences out there. We took the best elements, our learnings, all that kind of stuff, and rebuilt it completely, right? And, you know, what's great about the seller experience is, you know, there's a lot of things that you're going to see here that are familiar, right? Estimated home value, how much has your value changed? You know, how much equity do you have in your home? We pull in all the mortgage data from every property and tell you what is the actual equity you have available in your home. A lot of other platforms have this, right? Which is great. Now, all of it is native in the Ylopo. You don't have to pay extra for it. Those are all benefits. But what the two aspects of what we can do that no one else can do is weaponize data and weaponize triggers, right? So what I mean by that is we're able to go into your database as an example, look at for that particular property, what zip code is it in? You know, look for everyone that has a similar home to yours that they have looked at and say to the consumer, hey, we have 1,800 home buyers who are already interested in your property, right? If you click schedule a showing, private showing, I'm going to go ahead and pull all of these people, bring them to the meeting. And if we list this home, we literally, you know, can have 1,800 buyers already in our pool, right? And that is weaponizing the data that we are collecting within Ylopo and then using that to get you more sellers, right? So we're integrating all of these data products or data pieces that are unique into the experience as well. We are licensing Altos data on your behalf already. Again, in the spirit of saving you money, right? That's a couple $100 retail. We are licensing it for you. You get the best market trends data, market analysis, all that good stuff. And of course, it ties beautifully into the home search experience, right? Now, one of the reasons that we built this native, right, meaning it's 100% Ylopo technology, is because we want to integrate all of this with AI, right? And so when a consumer clicks on to my home value or, you know, contacts us for more details, right? Those are signals that we are sending into Follow Boss. You're going to get a priority note that says, hey, this consumer did X, right? But then we are going to automatically text and call that lead based on those triggers, right? So now you don't have to worry about missing out on an opportunity. We are going to do that legwork for you from an outreach perspective, and it's going to be synced with what the consumer is actually interested in.
Yeah, so nothing else available is able to show you how many buyers. So like my agents, we leverage this in a big way because everybody else says, hey, I've got buyers, I've got buyers. Well, with this product, I'm able to automatically send how many buyers I actually have in my database searching for a home. So this peppers every conversation. It colors everything we say with homeowners. Hey, I've got people, I can send you a report real quick, you know, and I'm able to send them how much equity they have. So this is a very compelling series of data points that the engineering team at Ylopo really took our feedback and basically nailed it because we're inside the head of homeowners. It's stuff they can't get on Zillow. They can't instantly see how much equity they have. They can't instantly see how many buyers are searching for a home like theirs. That's all private data with Zillow. For us, we're putting it consumer forward to keep homeowners on our website.
Yeah, and go a little bit deeper. And I think this will answer a couple of the questions. Well, first of all, G, I'll let you answer this. How much more are we charging for the new seller experience that's being built completely native? Zero. Perfect. Hits that one. And then guys, the other great thing about this being built in is Barry and I are spending a lot of time like from the layout, what comes first, what's next, what has movement to it, and what triggers different priority alerts and tags so that you have more control over the data and the activity that's happening with your sellers on the site.
Yeah, exactly. And here's an example, right? Like, you know, consumer engages the report, they click on request a private showing. We're going to go ahead and automatically text that lead based on that action, right? Like you don't need another generic texting platform to respond generically to all this stuff. Our behavioral texting, our AI, voice AI is all going to layer on top of this. The other thing we're doing is we're licensing nationwide AVM and mortgage data for you, right? And why that's important is it's not just about the consumer that clicks on the lead, it's about all of the leads in your database, right? So for every lead that has an address in your system, we're gonna be monitoring those leads and we're gonna let you know, priority alert, homeowner home value has increased by more than $5,000, right? So you're going to know talking points to the people who aren't just engaging, but are also sitting in your database with valuable insight that could, you know, basically get them to be a prospect. And hey, by the way, we're sending you the data, but you know, we're actioning on it too, right? So we're going to be texting those leads. We're going to be calling those leads as well based on the data that we collect, which is why it's really important and also very expensive for us to license that nationwide data. We label these all for you guys, by the way, guys. So, you know, like this is not like fantasy land. Like these are hard commit releases that we are making. One of the things that's a fast follow to our seller experience, releasing our seller experience in January, is we are going to query all of your listings, all of the leads that have seller addresses, and we're going to show you a tag that says, hey, they just listed, they just sold, right? So you have accountability on your side. You can have action based on that for all the leads that are essentially missed opportunities for you that are sitting inside your database as well, right? The next level of emphasis for us is lead generation, right? Have great seller experience, that's fine, but next question that gets asked is, how do I generate more seller leads, right? Well, we've tested seller lead generation every way, you know, you could possibly do it in 2023. And the conclusive result we got to was cash offers, right? Like if you put in front a cash offers value proposition to the consumer, they're going to click on it 2x more than if you say, what's my home worth, right? And, you know, so we have a huge emphasis on cash offers going into next year, right? The challenge with cash offers is not everyone has cash offers, right? In fact, probably only 5% of our clients have cash offers. So how do we run cash offers for all of our clients? The way we're doing that is we have license for you. Again, I want to emphasize free, right? We have licensed for you a nationwide cash offers platform called Zoodealio, right? So you are going to get this platform when you sign up with Ylopo. And what Zoodealio is outside of the state of Alaska and Hawaii, they will basically have a buy box, meaning they will give you a cash offer that you can present to the seller for any home over like built before after 1965, right? Which is about an 85% nationwide buy box, right? And so, you know, every one of your agents will have a log into this platform. Every seller lead that gets generated, every lead in your database that has a home address, you're going to get a Zoodealio offer attached to that record, right? And so now you can go in confidently saying that you have a cash offer, and you know, and then also we can advertise it for you as well, right? So you can do effective seller marketing in addition to effective seller engagement, right?
Yeah, I mean, just that platform is like $1,000 a month. I had it, right? So like the fact that now when I subscribe to Ylopo, I get a cash offer platform that's baked in. And I'll tell you guys, just like I told you with the heat map, I've got buyers looking. There's a certain clout that comes across when you have access to big money. And now when my agents are getting these cash offer leads, when my agents are calling expireds or a pre-foreclosure list that we get from some of these third-party providers like RedX or Vulcan 7 or Espresso Agent, we're calling and saying, hey, we've got access to money. We can get you several cash offers in the next 2 to 3 days. Is that something that interests you? We input them in the system. We start getting cash offers. While we're getting the cash offers, we're booking an interior appointment. Hey, while we wait for those cash offers, we want to come in and do a walkthrough of your home. And now we're either getting the listing in a conventional sense, or we're selling it through Zoodealio and still getting a commission. And so it's really, I'm telling y'all, this particular suite is really in touch with a particular segment of homeowners population that are ready to just get out from under their home. And to have access to this money like this has just been a huge boost for my agents' morale.
Yeah, and it just allows us to have that as an effective call to action everywhere, right? Like, so on your seller alerts, it's not just, you know, what's my home worth? It's button, click here, get a cash offer, right? Every buyer listing alert that we send out is going to say, are you a homeowner? Want to get cash offer on your home, right? So it allows us to weaponize that offer on your behalf, whereas previously you probably weren't able to credibly say that you had it. Now we can integrate it in every part of your marketing.
Yeah, I think that was one of the questions. Where is it going to be displayed? Not in just one spot. It's going to be moved throughout. And that's other discussions that we're having and that we test that a lot of people don't see behind the scenes is where in the funnel, where here, where there, where are we not seeing it? Let's move it to see if we get more clicks. That's all constantly being done. There was another question too about the seller alert and access to it and all that being in a custom field. That is something Barry and I are working on with the team to make that more easily accessible in FUB. So you have it right there. And then that way you can also use it for merge fields.
100%. Yeah, priority alert, Zoodealio offer cash generated, click here to view, send the above link directly to the client or log in. You know, we're going to have all of those things, right? You know, we have a whole here at Ylopo, a whole video creation suite, right? Because calls to actions are great, but consumers respond to video, especially if you're on your YouTube or Instagram, all that kind of stuff. We have done a complete rewrite of all of our videos and we're producing them on a weekly basis to focus on sellers, right? So these are going to surround sound all of your databases.
Need to sell your home fast? Stressed over making repairs or cleaning for showings? Get a cash offer for your home instead. Need to sell your home fast?
Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to speed through this because you guys get the point, right? And to what Gabe said, you know, cash offers isn't just about generating cash offers leads in one place. It's about integrating into our entire experience, right? 26% of home buyers who come through looking for homes for sale in Los Angeles say they need to sell before they buy, right? Well, we present to those people an option. If the value is fair, would you consider a cash offer in your home? If you didn't have Zoodealio, you can't do this, right? So we had to have that infrastructure piece. But guess what? 35% of those homeowners say yes to getting cash offer. It's another example of how we're going to integrate this throughout all of our calls to actions and improve your offerings to the consumer. We are also on so that's sellers, right? Now, we are not neglecting what I call home searchers, because remember, 26% of people coming in as home searchers need to sell, but we are also uplifting our entire buyer side, home searcher side lead generation, right? And we're doing that through display advertising, right? So we have figured out with Google that we can advertise across the web and YouTube really effectively to generate high quality leads, very comparable. I'll show you that in a second, but with display, right? And that results in a 30% reduction in your cost per lead, right? So standard PPC right now, obviously it's Q4, it's expensive, $11.44 per lead. PMax, which is the display product, $8.20, right? And what we're doing on our side, just so you know, I mean, again, you got to understand Ylopo 1.0, we're scientists on the lead generation side, right? We're not just saying we generate 100 leads, it's $2, like we win, right? We're actually inspecting every lead and their stage in your CRM to understand what leads actually resulted into, say, a hot prospect, right? And standard PPC, we are getting a 19.1% qualification rate, meaning these leads are in a hot or A, B type stage. PMax is 21.7%, right? So by the end of next year, my guess would be that 50% of the dollars we spend for our clients on Google will be on display on YouTube. That's how transformative this is. And, any other webinar, I'll be honest, like if it was, 3 months ago, this would be the entire webinar, right? I've got 2 slides on. Another thing of feedback that we've gotten from our clients is that they would really like to have a mobile app for their clients, especially a branded mobile app that is white labeled to them. That's not something Ylopo is ever going to build. It doesn't fit into our model of trying to generate you guys prospects. Like typically, you bring the app experience out when you are actually engaging with a home buyer, right? So they stay off Zillow or Realtor.com. Well, what we've done is partnered with Rooster to do a really deep integration with Rooster, right? And Rooster is you'll see in a second, industry leading tool or a mobile app that is entirely white labeled to you, right? And so that means that when they click on the app, it says the Robert Slack real estate team, right? It does not say, whatever, app that you are kind of sub-licensing it from, as an example, right? So there's a awesome hype video on a Rooster that they put together for us, but we don't have time to watch it. So we will send this around. But, I think bottom line, what you need to understand is it's a white label experience, amazing home search experience, best in the industry. That's why we chose to partner with them. They have tools for vendor referrals. It is a full two-way integration. We're working on one-way, then two-way integration with Ylopo, which means consumer search activity on the Ylopo website is going to feed into Rooster, update their listing alerts, right? And eventually what consumers are searching for in Rooster will come back to Ylopo, right? We have not done this with any other application vendor. They're the only ones we've done it with. Has an embedded app in Follow Up Boss, chat within the app, totally customizable educational content, miles on deep on that, right? Now, Rooster is extra because you have to go buy them as well. But Ylopo has negotiated a exclusive price for you. And so for Ylopo clients, I think on a team of 5, you're going to get a $200 discount on Rooster, right? So that's exclusive to Ylopo clients. Another big, improvement on the Ylopo side is on, AI, right? This is our big focus. And you're going to see, some of those, how effective that is in a second. But, AI has been around in our ecosystem for like 5 years. And what we want to do is improve the AI, great, but also improve your experience with working the AI, right? And so one of the integrations we worked with really hard on with Follow Up Boss, we've had some beta clients on this already. We'll be releasing it slowly, progressively to the rest of our community in Q1, is integration with the FUB inbox, right? So literally in the inbox, you're going to have a Ylopo Rya section where you can see every single text message we send out to the consumer, their replies. You can use the phone number as your assistant to text back and forth to the consumer all in one place, right? So now you're not using tags, smart lists, digging through, lead records to see all this information. It's going to be in one place. And eventually it's going to be the same for voice calls, right? All of it will be in one place.
Yeah. And on that one, I'm going to add on that real quick. And it was short. Q4, because somebody asked that we've done ours. We've built all this. We're just waiting for FUB to get this released. Parts of it have been done and are in beta. So that's done. So that Q4 is as in this Q4 right now. But obviously this is an integration. So we're just waiting for FUB to get that released. And on this, I've worked with Barry and a lot of others, and I've built out an entire folder of the most common and highest reply scripts to respond to inbounding message for Rya for you. So once that's done, it's all available for you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. So one of the things we're working on, we call it Q2 Plus because it's a really hard project, but we think it has a lot of value, is we are licensing nationwide demographic data on, every consumer in America, right? We're talking 350 million people in the US. And what we're doing is when a new lead comes in or a lead in your database, right? We are going to take their email address and phone number and see if we can append it to demographic data, right? And then we're going to run that demographic data through, large language models like ChatGPT and return to you descriptions of who this person is, right? Jerry Mason is a male residing in this address, owns a single family home. He is married, has an estimated high income, speaks Spanish, works from home, blah, 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 right? And so it gives you context to the consumer that you're speaking to and also gives you additional data. So if there's an extra email address or a phone number that's associated with that record, you're getting all of that, right? So this, we think is going to enhance our new leads, but, we are also going to do this with every lead in your database, right? So when you import in 4,000 leads, we are going to run it through our algorithm and return this data for 4,000 leads, right? Like if you do this independently, like yourselves, you can run the math, it costs you thousands of dollars. We're going to do it for you, right? And, eventually where we're going to get to, we actually have to validate the data is good. You guys like the experience, is propensity scoring, right? So we're going to use that data combined with all of our data to try to give you guys a sense of who's likely to buy and sell and all that kind of stuff, and then weaponize this data for all of our AI as well. So, we've talked a lot about AI. I think most of you guys know the context we're talking about it in, but with our RAIYA Squared product, we are essentially acting as your ISA or agent's assistant, and we are going to prospect for you, right? And we're going to do that over text message, and we're going to do that over voice, right? Meaning phone calls, right? RAIYA Texting, like if you've checked us out 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it's just gotten better every single year, right? And now we are rolling out a new model. Actually, we're rolling out in the next 2 weeks here that is even more powerful, right? And here is an example of a live conversation so you can see how responsive the new RAIYA is. Oh.
Hi Gary, this is Rya, Melissa's assistant with XYZ Brokerage. Did you ever find that house you were looking for in the area? I have several listings that might work on our website. Here's a link. Also, if you're not interested in being texted, just say stop. Gary, did that with XYZ Brokerage state listings. Let me know if I should text it to you or email it. Melissa's assistant with XYZ Brokerage.
Email is best.
Got it. I'll make sure to email you the property details. Are you considering making a move anytime soon?
Probably within the next 6 months.
That's great to hear. Planning ahead is always a good idea. Have you begun thinking of a general area you'd like to live?
Prefer downtown Sarasota. Condo.
That's a great choice. Downtown Sarasota offers a vibrant and convenient lifestyle. What price range are you considering at this time?
1 to 2 million.
With that budget, we can definitely find some amazing options for you. Another question I have is regarding the bedroom.
I'll stop it there, right? So you guys can see this is extremely humanistic conversation that is reacting to the consumer in ways that I think, frankly, unless you were sitting in front of your computer, you couldn't do better yourself. So most of our clients, I call it let the bot cook, right? Like just let the bot work, and it's gotten to that level where, frankly, I think you just kind of leave it alone until it sets the appointment for you, right? So texting is great, but what we found is that if you want to have a live relationship and conversation with the consumer and set an appointment and actually kind of turn this person into a prospect you're going to work with, you got to call them, right? And our average client was only calling a new lead 1.2 times in the first 30 days. 1.2, right? Now, we have data, we have a live call center, as well, right? And we have data that have shown us over the last 2 years that it takes 7 calls to make a quality connect with a consumer, right? That first 1 call only gets an 8% response rate, right? So if you're an average client of Ylopo, you're an average agent, you're calling a lead 1 time, you're making 8% of connects, right? What we're going to do is automate that outbound prospecting piece for you and get that consumer on the phone on the 7th call, on the 10th call, on the 14th call, right? And we're going to do that with a AI platform, believe it or not. So this is a live conversation with a prospect with our AI.
Hello?
Hi, Alicia.
Uh-huh.
Hi. I'm a digital assistant with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate on a recorded line. I'm following up with you regarding the home search profile that you submitted. What is it that brought you to our website?
I'm actually planning on moving down to the coast. I'm not sure if I'm going to move to North Carolina coast or South Carolina coast.
Oh, okay.
But I was just looking to see what might be available when I decide to do this.
Awesome. What time frame did you have in mind?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to sell my house in Charlotte right now.
I see.
And once I sell it, I'll be moving
Okay.
3 or 4 months. I mean, that's not on the market yet. By word of mouth, I've got a few people that I know that's interested in it. So I'm just holding out to see what they do. And if they don't give me an answer soon, I'm going to put it on the market.
Oh, good. It seems that you have some decisions to make. We'd love to connect you with our realtor who can then strategize a game plan around possibly selling your home.
Okay.
Please hold on a minute just while I connect you, okay?
So this is on average around a 2-minute phone call, right? We're not trying to do too much here. We're just trying to set the appointment for you, right? When we send the call to our client, they usually have a 7 to 10 minute conversation with the consumer, right? But we saved you the 80% of work necessary to get this person on a call interested enough to talk to you on a live transfer basis, right? That's the nature of the product. So
It's
the
never gets
combination
old.
and voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it never
It's
gets
great.
old. You know, I have had as many as 9 human ISAs that have worked directly under me for my company in Virginia Beach. And as we rolled this product out, I noticed that I really just need humans calling my leads anymore. The AI is that good. And so what I was able to do is I now have robots, this product, calling all of my new leads for my 80-person sales team. And I've moved my ISAs currently to prospecting recruiting agents. And so now my brokerage has grown 10% over the last 30 days because now I've got robots working this segment and I've got humans working another segment. And so now people are wondering, oh, well, how are you leveling up? The market's down, this, that, and the other. This is an example of why when you use technology, you move at a faster clip than your competition. And this product has been so transformative for me. Gabe, I know for you as well.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, same. And I know a couple of questions, about the voices. We're going to highlight that and let you know, not nearly as nice. I mean, right now, I literally even have agents like, can I just have the AI? Like, can you just turn on certain ones to have it call this? I haven't even shared it back with G yet, but I got one right now where the AI literally told somebody no 3 times. They kept asking for certain things, and AI, this is crazy. I haven't shared it with you guys yet. Kept saying no, 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 and set the freaking callback appointment for the next day. It was awesome. So it is crazy how well it's learning and adapting to this, way more than any. I've got 6 in-house ISAs, or my agents would do it. There's too much emotion involved, and they can't separate it. And the AI is just setting the appointments.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, like AI is like grown leaps and bounds, especially in the last year. But we're not releasing this product in the wild without auditing it really, really carefully, right? And so we actually have human beings watching these conversations, and if it's like Amber Alert, this conversation is getting messed up, we have them take it over, right? And so there's a lot of scrutiny around this stuff. So we call it human assisted AI to make sure that these conversations are going flawlessly for you. And the stats don't lie, right? Like what's crazy is human-assisted AI is currently beating our live call center. We have live people calling your leads. We have human-assisted AI calling your leads to see what the delta looks like, right? Before we release it full on out. 35% higher live transfers and appointments with AI versus live humans, right? And that's our trained call center on the calls, right? So, so really excited about that. We have moved RAIYA Voice prospecting from 30 days to 90 days. So we are working these leads 90 days now from the minute they are generated. Once it's past 90 days, it goes in the database. We're going to work the database as well. We're going to work seller leads. We're going to work third-party leads. We're just finishing out the compliance to roll out Realtor.com and Zillow, in the middle of January. There's going to be multiple voices you can choose from. We are doing, voice cloning on several additional voice actors right now. And, the thing with voice is like devil's in the details, right? First off, this technology is already cutting edge, right? But even with like, there are other people who are saying, I have voice AI in the marketplace, right? You got to inspect the details, right? So as an example, one detail, right? Let's say you use a generic AI voice platform and they say your name wrong. You can't fix that. It's done, right? And you will not be able to use that voice AI. We actually literally have a dashboard where we see what we call malformed names or words or phrases, and our voice actor is re-recording those, right? So when you go live with us, we actually have a voice recorder record your name, record your brokerage, and make it perfect within our large language model so that it never screws up, right? So those are the type of inspecting the details type of stuff that we're able to do that is just going to make it the best in the industry.
Yeah.
So RAIYA Voice, not just working your new leads, we are going to work your database very soon, right? And for a lot of our clients, this is going to move the needle more than new leads, right? Say our median Ylopo client has 4,000 leads in your database, right? Well, how many calls are you making to your database a month, right? If it was more than 500, I would be floored, right? Well, what if we made 8,000 phone calls to those 4,000 leads every single month, right? How many live transfers are you going to get from that, right? That's what we're aiming for. And oh, by the way, obviously, you know, you see quality has increased with all of this, cost reduced, right? Because it's AI, right? So this is going to be ridiculously cost effective in addition to, we believe, higher quality. So, you know, Gabe and Barry like get blown up, you know, by this every single day. I call people, I listen to calls and I say, hey, what about this one, right? And they're helping me improve and all that kind of stuff. But here's an example of a database call.
Hello.
Hello, is this Selena?
This is she.
Yes, hi, this is Alex, the digital assistant from Robert Slack Real Estate calling on a recorded line. I'm following up on the home search profile you submitted a while ago. We didn't see if you ever found that home you were looking for before, and we were curious if you were still thinking of making a move.
I am. I just paid something off of my credit report. Like, I had one collection on there. It was like $400 or whatever, and I just paid it off. And besides that, I only have my car payment, so I'm hoping that that'll boost my credit up.
Okay, I'm glad you started working on this. It's a good idea to still speak with my agent, as sometimes the credit requirements for buying vary greatly and can be confusing.
Okay. Do I have to make an appointment?
So you can see here, the bot is not just like having a linear conversation. It's actually reacting to what the consumer is saying, right? It's listening, it's reacting, right? That's why it's so effective. So database product, this is likely, we're testing it in Q1 and we'll release it far and wide in Q2. We're starting with new leads and then we're moving on to database.
So on that, real quick, I just want to get a couple questions all in one. Yes, somebody's talking about, well, you know, phrasing, what about if they say something wrong? Here's the thing, we're listening to this and we all know that our agents or our ISAs have said something wrong, right? But it takes us going and listening, and it takes us constantly coaching and monitoring everyone on our team. What's great about this is once we're hearing it and once we teach it, once we teach the AI, it's done, right? So I think sometimes we're afraid of the unknown, but we have a lot of this stuff happening on our teams now. This actually is giving us more control, and it's giving me more peace of mind that what needs to be done or changed is happening the first time I correct it, and I don't have to reteach it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a whole team that we call our AI grading team that is literally listening and reading the transcript of every call that, you know, is like a hang up or low scored or even good scored calls. And we're fixing it, right? Like Gabe and Barry are saying, in this situation, say this instead. We feed it back into the large language model, right? And so this is over time going to get like, be the best sales bot in the industry, because meaning versus humans, right? Because you learn it once and you learn it, right? And it's only going to say the right thing going forward. So the last piece I want to talk about is Maverick, right? And this is the third leg on the stool in terms of the Ylopo suite. Maverick is a sales analytics and revenue accelerator, right? What that means is you need to have analytics about what's going on in your business, both on your business side, what am I getting ROI on, you know, what lead sources are working, what does my pipeline look like, who's a good agent, who's doing well, who's not doing well, right? That's analytics, that's important. But what you need to do from an analytics perspective then is to weaponize that analytics to accelerate your revenue, right? And we are building out really, really sophisticated tooling around that, right? So one area, for instance, is an intelligent lead router, right? What does that mean? It takes the data from your CRM of who's doing well, who's not, on every given lead source, every given price point, every given specialty, like veterans, VA, all this kind of stuff. And when a lead comes through, we are not going to just round robin it or first to claim it, whoever grabs it. We're actually going to say, we're going to stack rank your agents based on the highest likelihood that they're going to convert this lead. And we're going to give that first person opportunity, text them, then text the next person, text another next person, Slack the other person, whatever, until someone picks up in that rotation, right? So at any given time, we're going to weight your best converters to your best leads, right? That's a transformative concept from a getting lead distribution perspective, right? Another key feature we're really excited about is AI grading, right? So what we're doing here is we're actually going to take every call recording of yours in Follow Up Boss. We're going to run it through our machine learning, and we're going to say, what was the score of this call quality-wise, right? It was a 5.7 call. And the reason for that is because did they ask for LP Mama? You know, did they ask location and all that kind of subsequent information? Did they ask for the appointment? Did they set the appointment? What was their agent talk time? In terms of objections, what were the biggest objections that you are hearing, right? And then you're going to be able to go into every detailed agent and every detailed conversation and say, hey, let me look at this conversation. And we're going to tell you, hey, here's the sentiment, here's their time frame, here's the client motivation, you know, what were the objections they raised? So now, instead of having to do call reviews with your agents, right, and figuring out like, oh my God, I got to listen to 100 calls. Is this agent doing a good job or not? You have all of that data at the tip of your fingers, right? And what we find with AI graded data is that sales pipeline data, like an agent changing a stage from one stage to another, is very dirty, right? Because it's all self-reported. You know, a lead could be put as showing request and you're like, oh my God, I got a deal coming up, right? And then you look at the details and no one's talked to this lead in 2 months. That's not a showing request, right? With AI grading, you're getting a real-time understanding of your agent's sales skills, right? And so you can weaponize that data to coach up the people who are on the bottom and to distribute the best leads to the people who are on the top, right? And then also we're doing transaction management, importing, editing, supplementation, all that stuff to match your Follow Up Boss data with your transaction management data. So everything is in one place. There's miles deep I could go on here, but those are all exciting features that we're adding to Maverick, right? So I know we're coming up on time here, so thank you for joining us today. We have a year-end special for all of you prospects that are on our call. If you go to ylopo.com/Ylopo2 discount, here's the QR code, you can sign up for that special promo. You know, it's, you know, double your leads, free Rya voice. We want you to try that out, you know, and you get to save $700 on setup fees. It's an incredible deal for our platform. We just want you to get on it and we think you'll love it from there. So if you're interested, please come to Ylopo2 discount and fill out that form and we're going to get to you right away. But like I said, you know, our goal here wasn't to sell you on the Ylopo product in terms of the entirety of the suite. We wanted to show you what is Ylopo 2.0, right? What is the stuff that we are rolling out now, rolling out in the next couple of quarters that is going to really move the needle for you, right? So you really need to see a demo of the whole Ylopo system to understand how to fit these pieces into that jigsaw puzzle. And so we're going to have our team reach out to you one-on-one to set up those calls as well. But hopefully you get excited, just, you know, peek at all of the amazing stuff that we're rolling out already.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, especially where many businesses are struggling or trying to figure out what to do next, how to stay ahead of the competition, you know, the fact that Ylopo continues to innovate and keeps us in front of the competition in a way that they have, I just think it's something that, you know, I don't know the details of the discount. I didn't even know we were offering a discount, but, you know, to me, being able to go deep, because this webinar showed all the things that we've changed, but honestly, there's probably an additional 10 features that I'm personally really excited about that my team uses in the Ylopo ecosystem that we haven't even gone over in this webinar. Right. So that's why the demo is so important. You know, Ylopo is this massive marketing engine. And what you have to do is you have to say, this is the direction my business is going. How can Ylopo help me do that? And that to me is where the real partnership with the platform comes into play. It's not just leads. It's not just lead follow-up. It's an entire marketing suite. And so, yeah, that discount, that's incredible.
Well, that, and then too, a majority of what we showed in the 2.0 and the newer versions, the speed, seller enhancements, almost all of this, guys, there was no increase in cost, right? Everybody's getting these. And then some of these are actually allowing us to cut costs. A lot of us looking back over the last year and going into the next is where am I not needing to spend? And this is consolidating so much stuff to us into one spot and a lower bill. So it is huge for us.
Yeah, and some people, I see a question. If you already have Ylopo but want info on Maverick and Rya Voice, I would say just email support@ylopo.com and we'll route you to the right person. I mean, you know, there's different Maverick and Rya Voice, obviously different. But just email support@ylopo.com and we'll make sure to get you to the right person. Awesome. Any other questions, guys?
No, really exciting stuff.
Can't believe it. We made this, you guys held your ton because we made this hour and 45-minute webinar into like 50 minutes.
Well, I kind of beat you up in the beginning. I figured I would let you get into a rhythm in the middle. I was like, if I keep interjecting, he's never going to finish this thing. But yeah, no, it's nice to be innovating, you know, and several of our users that have been with us for 5 or 6 years, you'll see that in the Ylopo Success Community Facebook group. They're like, this stuff is why we partnered with you. We continually are staying ahead of the competition and what the consumer thinks. You know, the consumer doesn't even know this stuff is possible yet. So we're just always staying ahead. It's really exciting stuff.
And I don't know another company, right? I've been working in tech with a couple different that has myself, Barry, Matt, Levia, people in the industry, the amount of time that we were spending literally just fine tuning scripts and changing little words and going through from text to voice to all that, guys. It's incredible to actually have people in the trenches doing this for those of us in the trenches.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Good. All right.
All right. Happy holidays, everyone.
All right.
Have a good one. See you.
All right. Bye.